Coming up tonight, a theft in Ottumwa could end up affecting baseball games in your area, maybe even your own kids' games.
Hot weather continued today. It continues through the weekend, but relief, it's on the way. The details in the 7-day forecast coming up later in the show.
And it looks like there's finally some progress on a Video Game Hall of Fame and Welcome Center in Ottumwa. These stories and more as KYOU Fox 15 News at 9 starts right now.
News for you, 1 hour earlier. This is KYOU Fox 15 News at 9.
Good evening and thanks for joining us from the newest edition of KYOU Fox 15 News at 9. I'm Jefferson Tyler and I'm subbing in for Chase Shire, who's enjoying a lovely 3-day weekend starting tonight. Ottumwa police need your help catching a thief who stole from Legion Memorial Field. Officers are looking for information on who took a $2,500 PA system from the facility. An officer has told KYOU Fox News that a storage facility was broken into as part of the theft. The police don't know exactly what happened when theft happened, but Little League World Series to high school players, the theft affects kids of all ages who play baseball and softball games on that field.
It does affect the overall function of the game, which impacts all these kids that utilize the field and the facilities.
If you have any information on who may have taken the PA system, please call the Ottumwa Police Department at 641-683-0661. They could use your help. They have no suspects at this time. An overnight fire has severely damaged a house along the 300 block of Washington Street. The location was well known to the firefighters that fought 4 other fires at the same property this year. As you can see in this video taken by Ottumwa Radio, the back portion of the house was completely engulfed in flames when firefighters arrived at 5 in the morning. The fire then quickly spread to the building on the front section of the property. The Ottumwa Fire Department has the entire shift of firefighters on hand, as well as several members of the Wapello County Fire Department and agency firefighters as well. This was the 5th fire the Ottumwa Fire Department has extinguished at the property this year. There have been 42 structure fires in the city this year, and the busiest part of the season is still to come. A $10,000 reward is being offered for information leading to an arrest of the people who started the fire. If you have information about the incident, please contact the Ottumwa Fire Department right away. For people who have been talking about turning Ottumwa into a spot for video game tourism with a museum, welcome center, and arcade, the City of Bridges is one step closer to that goal, with plans and a location set out. The dream of Ottumwa having a video game welcome center is starting to become a reality.
Walter Day, a great man, planted the seed back in the early 1980s. There was a little time when that plant didn't grow, but now it's really growing now.
Ottumwa's Old School Pinball and Arcade bought a location next to the Ottumwa Theater for the Welcome Center and are remodeling.
Not only will you be able to come in and get information about Ottumwa Video Game Capital of the World, we will store some museum pieces in here that rotate. So every time you come in, you may be able to get to see a different piece.
The group is hoping to open the doors to the Welcome Center by November and promote other businesses in the process.
We want to have a rack and we want to have some advertising and posters about Ottumwa and downtown Ottumwa.
The big news, however, is about what happens next after the Welcome Center opens.
We're looking forward to bringing a permanent location to the Video Game Capital of the World, a permanent arcade and the permanent location of the Ottumwa Video Game Museum, which will house the Hall of Fame. Due to contractual agreements right now, I can't exactly explain the location, but it's very near here. It will be exciting for downtown.
Several sources have told me that this location on Main Street will be where the museum and arcade will be. Old School Pinball and Arcade members, however, could not confirm this address. They did, however, describe the condition of where they're hoping to move.
We will have a location as a permanent arcade where people can come in and actually play the retro games. The future is going to be games. The future will be a location that you could go to anytime here in Ottumwa. The future will be a museum that not only the town can enjoy, but will draw tourism and draw people in from out of town. So we want to use this as a stepping stone. We want families, we want friends, we want you to come over and have a good time.
Ottumwa's Old School Pinball and Arcade will be holding an event at the Quincy Place Mall from November 9th through the 12th. With video games and contests. They're also holding an induction ceremony for the International Video Game Hall of Fame. right here in Ottumwa during the event. Sounds like fun. Well, the weather was hot today. So hot, it forced one school system in the area to close early. Fairfield schools closed today at 1 because of the heat. One of the buildings at Washington Elementary doesn't have air conditioning, so the district chose to end classes early rather than expose kids to high temperatures, with all campuses following suit. Fairfield has responded this way in previous years, but this is the first time they've had to do it this year. Rain yesterday, sunshine today. What's in the weekend have in store? Steve Horstmeyer is here with the details. Steve?
Good evening, everyone. We are talking about another hot day tomorrow, but look at the high temperatures from today. Everybody in the low to mid 90s, not a record, but certainly about 20 degrees warmer than we normally get at this time of year. And of course, this was the first afternoon of autumn, and it felt much more like July than it did autumn. Over the past 3 hours, really not much going on. We've got a big ridge of high pressure, lots of dry air upstairs, and that's going to give us sunshine and hot weather right on through the weekend. We do have a chance of rain coming up, which we'll cover coming up in a few minutes. But overnight tonight, we're looking at a warm and muggy night. Temperatures drop off very slowly through the 70s to lows in the upper 60s in most locations. We start off with lots of sunshine tomorrow, and it's going to be another hot one. I'll be back with the 7-day forecast in a few minutes.
The Bloomfield City Council met last evening, and a number of people spoke out about changes being made to the parking in the city square. The county and the city council recently agreed on a 4-month test. See if eliminating parking spaces in the center of the road would make things easier and less confusing. Restriping of the parking spaces took place over the last few days and will likely continue over the weekend. At the council's meeting yesterday, people spoke both in favor and against the changes. The test period will run through January of next year. The board responsible for enforcing government transparency has denied the state ombudsman access to the records of an August meeting that open record advocates say was kept confidential in violation of state law. It's believed this is the first time government bodies has denied an ombudsman access to confidential records by citing attorney-client privilege. The Information Board met in private last month regarding a case involving a Burlington officer who fatally shot a woman in 2015. The board later voted in open session without disclosing what was discussed in private. A south-of-the-border influence is making an appearance outside the market on Main in Ottumwa this weekend. It's the 3rd annual Ottumwa Latino Festival, and it's being held on Main Street on Saturday. There will be Hispanic foods, crafts, a magician, and even Ottumwa Soccer Club will be holding a demonstration. They are expecting to have 50 vendors at this year's event, with, 2 Latin bands and 2 dancing troupes will be performing.
I feel like Mexico. I love dancers. The way dancers, I love the music, and then I want to cry sometimes when I hear that. It's very nice.
The Latino Festival starts at 3 in the afternoon on Saturday and ends with a Latin dance night with the DJ that runs till midnight. It's free to attend the festival. Coming up next, the latest on the earthquake in Mexico and what Iran is doing with its nuclear arsenal. But first, Steve Horstmeyer is back with a complete breakdown of your forecast. Stay with KYOU Fox News 15.
Hello, everyone. I'm Angela Miles. Is your money making money? Join us to find out how the pros get an edge in the stock market, investing, and starting up companies. Plus, take on our traders.
Try and chop our trade.
And get the latest market-moving news.
First $1 trillion market cap.
At Business First AM, we share the secrets of wealth straight from the trading floor.
Business First, weekday mornings at 6:30.
U.S. Cellular has unlimited data and got rid of hidden fees. Now's your turn. Move it! Go, go, go!
Didn't we just get rid of that?
Sure did, but activation fees pop up all the time.
Again?
Yep, every time you upgrade your phone.
Why does this keep happening?
Because you added a new line. And it looks like someone just got a new phone.
That was me. Sorry, guys.
Get new iPhone 8 on us when you turn in your old phone and switch to U.S. Cellular.
Your day begins like ours, at the break of dawn, lighting your way to opportunities, helping you grow your future, advancing your efforts to save energy as you harvest your rewards. with passion and teamwork to expand your possibilities and fuel new ideas as you help nature reap its full potential, guiding you to an efficient path and supporting your hard work to make every day a day worth sharing. We're there every step of the way, from the farm to the table, helping you conserve resources so you can spend your time where it's most important. Alliant Energy.
You're watching KYOU Fox 15 News for You at 9. Brought to you in high definition in cooperation with the Ottumwa Courier and William Penn University. And now, KYOU First Alert Weather.
Good evening, everyone. I'm meteorologist Steve Horstmeyer. If you like the hot weather today, we've got a good weekend ahead. If you're tired of it, I've got some good news in the 7-day forecast. Right now, we're talking about Hurricane Maria, still a Category 3 storm with 125-mile-an-hour wind gust. As Maria tracks north of the Bahamas, it's encountering wind shear, which kind of makes that eye look less organized, and it's going to run into some cool water left over by Hurricane Jose when it came through, and so we're going to see it slowly decrease in intensity over the weekend. Satellite and radar shows that there's really not much to talk about right now. Skies are clear, the air is warm, there's plenty of humidity out there, and we are in for a hot and humid weekend. But some good news on the way. You can see out to the west, when you get out to Nebraska into southeast South Dakota, there's a little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity, but notice everything's coming in out of the south and west with more hot air heading towards the heartland. So at 10 o'clock, we're looking at temperatures basically in the upper 70s. As we head through the night, just a few patches of high, thin cloud cover. Tomorrow morning, 7:30, most areas right around 70. There'll be a few spots that drop to the upper 60s, but for the most part, temperatures tomorrow morning around the 70-degree mark. As we go through the day tomorrow, it doesn't take long to get into the 80s. We make it back into the 90s. Notice a little bit of what we call convection, or a little bit of cloud cover beginning to form during the heat of the day. We're not looking at any rainfall yet. And overall, as we head on into Saturday night, still warm and still humid. Here's the relief bringer. It's the cold front. We just saw that air streaming northward through Nebraska. Well, there's a cool front out to the west, and all the green stuff around it is some rainfall, and that is beginning to move eastward. And as it moves out of the high plains, it's going to close in on us. And so look at this. We've got a little bit of rain in the forecast for Monday. Now you can see a little bit of a split developing here. We'll have to watch as it gets closer, but we do have cooler weather and the chance of some rain coming our way. Tonight, warm and muggy, the low down to 69, winds out of the southeast, 5 to 10 miles an hour. And when we get to your 7-day forecast, we're going to be talking about somewhat cooler weather coming our way. So 74 at 8 a.m., 84 at noon, or 88 at noon, 90 at 4 p.m., and 82 at 8 p.m. So it looks like this as we head through 7 days. 90 tomorrow, a little bit better on Sunday, 87. Notice both mornings in the upper 60s. I'm looking at a low of 66 and a high of 83 on Monday with a few showers and thunderstorms. A few more storms on Tuesday, but look at that temperature dropping off to a high of 73. Upper 60s by Wednesday with isolated showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. Partly cloudy on Thursday and 64 for the high on Friday. So we have a big cooling trend. The 7-day forecast shows highs going from 90 as cool as 64 by the time we get to the end of the 7-day forecast. And again, none of these days has a lot of rain, but each and every day, starting with Monday, we could see some scattered showers and thunderstorms around the heartland. Well, that's it for now. Coming up after the break, we've got more for you.
At Subway restaurants, make every day different with the $3.50 sub of the day. Every day, it's a different 6-inch sub for just $3.50. Like sweet onion chicken teriyaki on Monday, oven roasted chicken on Tuesday, turkey breast on Wednesday, Italian BMT on Thursday, and tuna on Friday. Every day, it's a different 6-inch sub with any veggies you want on your choice of freshly baked bread for just $3.50 each. It's the sub of the day, only at Subway restaurants.
Welcome to Law Connect with Ed Detley, Detley Law Firm, Ottumwa, Iowa. Ed, if someone has suffered an injury at work and is currently receiving workers' compensation pay, how does the insurance company calculate their weekly benefit?
The insurance carrier is to take the last 3 months of earnings before the injury, average those, and then figure the rate based on state tables published by the Workers' Compensation Agency.
Ed Detley, Detley Law Firm, Ottumwa, Iowa.
Freedom Foam Insulators, true spray foam insulation experts. They're a complete and innovative spray foam installer with the latest products and techniques to save you on energy costs. Freedom Foam has been around since 2004, helping reduce the nation's dependence on foreign energy and enabling their customers to live in a quieter, dust-free environment. It's environmentally safe and mold and mildew resistant. They readily serve the tri-state area, so call for open and closed cell options now. Freedom Foam Insulators.
At Farmers, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to cover almost anything, even a coop soup.
So beautiful.
Beautiful just like you.
Oh, wow, thank you.
And we covered it November 6, 2009. Talk to Farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
For your insurance needs, contact me, Lori Mason, at 112 North Court, Ottumwa, Iowa.
You're watching KYOU News for You at 9.
Apple fans in New York City and LA lined up today to buy the latest iPhone. Excitement was rampant for those getting their phone today. The iPhone 8 looks just like the last 3 generations, but it has a glass back which enables wireless charging, and it makes the phone a little bit more comfortable to hold and a little less slippery. For many, the more expensive iPhone 10 comes out later this year, and that's a much more exciting launch, but some just couldn't wait that long.
Honestly, it's just the extra month waiting for that 10. So I didn't want much difference between the 10 and the 8 Plus, which is what I got. So I just figured just get the 8 Plus and just wait on.
Pre-orders for the iPhone 10 start on October 27th. Iran is showing off a brand new missile today, just as President Trump prepares to announce if the U.S. will scrap the Iran nuclear deal. Fox News correspondent Lauren Blanchard is in Washington with more on that and the latest ultimatum from North Korea.
Iran unveiling its newest missile Friday, one capable of hitting Israel and much of the Middle East in a direct challenge to the U.S.
No matter if you like it or not, we will boost our defense and military power to the extent deemed necessary for deterrence.
The multi-nation Iran nuclear deal only prohibits Tehran from further nuclear testing, not work on ballistic missile technology, something President Donald Trump calls a central flaw in the agreement, and one of the reasons he may scrap the deal. The administration warns Iran may not be done with its nukes.
Iran seems keen to preserve for itself the option to resume such work in the future.
The president is also going after another rogue regime over weapons, North Korea. He's now ordered the Treasury Department to cut off anyone who does business with the North in an attempt to deter its nuclear program. North Korea is responding with this threat.
The strongest ever hydrogen bomb might be conducted in the Pacific.
And responding with a whole lot of name-calling.
Trump is unfit to hold the prerogative of supreme command of a country and isn't a politician, but a rogue and a gangster fond of playing with fire.
That was Fox's Lauren Blanchard reporting. Puerto Rico and Mexico are reeling from disasters, but in the wake of both deadly tragedies, first responders answering the call with daring rescues from air and by land. Fox News' Carolyn Shively shows us those moments caught on video.
In Mexico City, firefighters not giving up. This is the moment they lift an elderly woman from the rubble. The emotional rescue after the woman survived being buried for about 24 hours. That's a mother and her 2 kids on top of a sinking ship, waving their hands for help. Their boat capsizing off the coast of Puerto Rico after Maria unleashed fury on the island. Watch this. A rescuer lowering down over crashing waves and one by one lifting all 3 to safety. The Coast Guard and British Royal Navy answering the call. And first responders in Puerto Rico carrying this woman to safety. Wet and wearing only 1 shoe, she held on tight to rescuers. The woman from Guayama in the southern part of the island. There, destroyed homes, uprooted trees, and significant flooding. Caroline Shively, Fox News.
Well, it's nice to see a little bit of positive news from the 2 areas that are suffering so greatly. Coming up next, Iowa has a big game this weekend, and we'll give you an inside scoop on what the Hawkeyes are facing. Stay with KYOU Fox 15 News as Football Friday is up next.
We know how this feels.
My shoulder. Do you guys have any workers' comp or anything?
At Noyes Law Office, we've seen this many times before. We will get you back on the road to freedom.
For personal injury, injuries at work, or debt relief, we are here for you.
At Pizza Ranch, we take pride in serving our guests. Our pickup window makes grabbing lunch and dinner quick, convenient, and easy to go. Or have any of your favorite Pizza Ranch menu items, including our roasted chicken, delivered right to your door. Try our fresh, made-to-order specialty pizzas, and for a limited time, pick up any small pizza with any toppings for only $5. When it comes to great food, legendary value, and fast, convenient service, Pizza Ranch is your best choice. Call or order online at pizzaranch.com.
The residents' first employees always culture at Keosauqua Healthcare Center sets them apart.
I'm glad my mom's here, and I'm glad my uncle's here.
At Keosauqua Healthcare Center, everybody here is very compassionate.
Residents are so adorable. The staff is outstanding.
Everybody cares about the residents here.
We treat each other like family.
Keosauqua Health Center is just, it's great.
Your best way home is through our doors. Choose a proven leader in quality and service. Keosauqua Healthcare Center.
Add some pizzazz to your life. Escape your family's boring everyday routine with a Fun City $99 Fun Day Getaway. You and your family get a one-night stay at the Pizzazz Resort Hotel and admission to Huck's Harbor Indoor Water Feature. Plus, get a $40 Game Bucks card good to use at the arcade, Kingpins, and more. Call to book your $99 Fun Day Getaway today and escape your family's boring everyday routine. Pizzazz! Many destinations, one amazing place.
Well, it's Friday, which means it's time to look at football action taking place this weekend. After struggling against North Texas last week, the Iowa Hawkeyes were able to get back on track in the second half to beat the Mean Green 31-14. If they struggle in the first half this week, they may not be as lucky. They're playing the 4th-ranked Penn State Nittany Lions. KYOU's Chase Shire has the details.
Hawkeyes will have their work cut out for them this weekend with Penn State's high-flying offense. The Nittany Lions, through 3 games, have averaged 469 yards and 47 points. One of the reasons, running back Saquon Barkley. The junior running back has 307 yards on 38 attempts and is a threat to catch out of the backfield as well. Quarterback Trace McSorley isn't afraid to throw the ball around the yard either.
They've got good balance. Their receiver guys are all very talented. The tight end's a really big threat. They utilize him in a significant way, and I think the quarterback's really the guy that makes him go. He's the the center of everything.
On the offensive side of the ball for the Hawkeyes, they'll have to work better on holding on to the ball. They will also be down one offensive weapon as James Butler is out at least until after the bye week with an elbow injury. So a lot of the responsibility on Saturday night will fall onto Akram Wadley to carry the load, as well as on quarterback Nate Stanley, who will be starting in the biggest game of his young college career, but he's learning to not get too far ahead of himself.
You know, it's a big game, but you got to treat it like any other game. You can't get too excited or too low for it. So just continue to prepare and do the same thing that we've always done for the first 3 games. Just continue to prepare the same way.
The game between the Hawkeyes and the 4th-ranked Nittany Lions is scheduled to kick off at 6:30 at Kinnick Stadium. Conference play is now officially underway for every school across the country. Let's look at some of the other marquee games taking place over the weekend. Right here on KYOU, starting at 3, you can see the 8th-ranked Michigan Wolverines take on the Purdue Boilermakers. Purdue is coming off their dominating win against the Missouri Tigers last week. Purdue may be the most underrated team in the Big Ten. They have looked sharp so far. Following that game at 7, you can see another Big Ten team in Michigan State take on Notre Dame in East Lansing. At 2 in Bedlam, Oklahoma, 6th-ranked Oklahoma State, led by Heisman candidate quarterback Mason Rudolph, is playing host to 16th-ranked TCU. The matchup to watch in that game is the Cowboys' high-flying offense against TCU's very stout defense. At 6 o'clock, it's another ranked matchup in the SEC. 17th-ranked Mississippi State, who's coming off their dominating win against against LSU last week, heads to Athens, Georgia to take on the 11th-ranked Georgia Bulldogs between the hedges. The Missouri Tigers once again playing another home game this week. They are facing their toughest opponent yet in the 15th-ranked Auburn Tigers. That game is scheduled to kick off at 6:30. Week 3 of the NFL season has already started. On KYOU, we have one game for you this weekend, but it's one that has a lot of promise. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are coming off a beat-down victory against the Chicago Bears last week, travel north to Minnesota to take on the Vikings, who are coming off a loss against the Steelers. That game kicks off Sunday at noon. Enjoy your football watching weekend. Chase Shire, KYOU, Fox News.
Well, usually for Football Friday, we have reports on Iowa State and Northern Iowa, but both teams are on a bye this week. Next Thursday night, Iowa State will host the Texas Longhorns. Stay with KYOU Fox 15 News, and we'll wrap up the show next.
We sure have been hearing a lot about Colorado in the news lately. You ever wonder why? It's because Fessler Auto Mall has the best selection of new Colorados in Southeast Iowa. Head to Fessler Auto Mall in Fairfield and pick out your next award-winning midsize truck.
Looking for fast service? Sorry, but we have super fast service. Woody's Tire Auto and Towing in Kirksville is top notch. Does your car need new tires? We've got you covered. And with our preventive maintenance for your air conditioning, we'll make sure you're cool all summer long. With our diagnostic auto repair, we can have you back on the road in no time. Need an alignment? We can straighten you out. Remember, we are super fast. Woody's Tire Auto and Towing, Kirksville, Missouri. Don't cuss, call us. 660-665-9017.
When you buy direct from America's diamond manufacturer and jewelers, you eliminate the most expensive part of buying jewelry, the retail jeweler's markup. We cast, set, size, or finish every diamond ring we sell, and Americas guarantees that quality for quality. Our everyday manufacturing prices are lower than the retail jeweler's very best sale prices. Remember, never buy a diamond without looking at it under a microscope. America's Diamond, on the Square in Fairfield, Iowa, open Tuesday through Saturday.
In 1916, Warren Miller chose auto owner's insurance. Later, his son made the same choice, as did his grandson. And today, his great-granddaughter did the same. As we reflect on where we've been, we're grateful to our independent agents and to those who put their trust in us, and to the generations who will. Auto Owners Insurance.
Noel Insurance in Ottumwa is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
September is Chevy month at Fessler Auto Mall in Fairfield. Chevy has continued its 20% off select Malibus, Cruze, and Trax through October 2nd or while supplies last. So what does that mean for you? You can save up to $6,600 off a new Chevy Malibu. Head to Fessler Auto Mall today.
Well, the iPhone 8 has hit stores, and yet Apple stock continues to slump. And London says no to Uber. Fox Business Network's Jerry Willis has more on those stories and more on tonight's Fox Means Business.
No more wait for the iPhone 8. Apple releasing its latest smartphone on Friday, but even as it hits store shelves, that's not helping Apple's stock. Its shares actually falling to a 7-week low after reports the new Apple Watch has a technical glitch. Meanwhile, two big wireless companies are looking to team up. T-Mobile and Sprint planning to join forces to take on big rivals like Verizon and AT&T. If they do unite, the combined company would have more than 130 million subscribers. Well, despite a rocky week for stocks, 2 out of 3 major indexes did manage to close up. The Dow and S&P 500 finishing in positive territory, with the Nasdaq dipped a little. And the biggest city in the UK telling Uber to go away. London's transportation agency saying it will not renew the car service's license to operate. The city saying it's pulling the plug at the end of the month because the company is irresponsible when it comes to public safety and security. Uber responding by saying it has always followed the rules and plans to fight the decision. That's a look at business. I'm Jerry Willis.
Well, it's not too late to celebrate National Ice Cream Cone Day, the holiday observed annually on September 22nd. The ice cream cone is said to have been first mentioned for the first time in French cookbooks in the 1800s. Look at that. That would be great to taste right now. Well, the waffles that were in the original cones were rolled into the shape of a cone, and the ice cream became popular in the U.S. in the late 1800s. But you should go to your local grocery store and pick up some ice cream for yourself instead of just sitting there around on your couch and eating something else. Ice cream is probably the best dinner right now. This is Jefferson Tyler. Thank you very much for joining us on KYOU Fox 15 News.